Welcome to the Green Dream Project. Jim here.
And Jessica.
And if you're here for the first time, we moved from the city to the country out here in the Arizona desert, where we're building up our 40-acre property. We live 100% on rainwater. We live 100% on solar. We built a giant cistern that will feed our house with rainwater, and we now just completed our Earthbag root cellar. Some of these projects have just been long, very labor intensive, and this root cellar was no exception. I can't wait to get started. It's about time. I have no idea how long this is gonna take, but I know it is gonna take a lot of time. Earthbag is a lot of work. I'm just looking at these big holes in the ground and I'm wondering how we're gonna get it done. But you know what? We are gonna get it done. If we can get that cistern done, we can get this house done. Welcome to the trenches. We are now in the east pit. This is gonna be the future site of our root cellar. Crazy exciting, I can't believe it. First off, gonna do a little site prep. All these larger size rocks, I'm gonna get these out of here, future gabion material. You never know. Level it off a little bit, doesn't gotta be perfect because I'm gonna be doing some other things to make sure they're level. Right now, I just wanna do a little cleanup down here. Now that I got some of those bigger rocks out of the way, now I'm gonna start this project out the same way I started the cistern. I wanna get the pole compass in place. Yeah, I don't think the post hole digger is going to work for this. The ground is almost like solid rock. Time to bring out the heavy artillery with this hole. Whew! Superhero pose. Gonna bring out the tool of tools, digging bar. This ought to do the trick. I finally got this hole dug. It took me a while. I was literally just smashing through rock in order to do that. I really worked hard to get this down to 2 feet. So this is my base pole. It's just 2 feet long, just slightly larger in diameter than the pole I'm going to use as the main structure pole. I figure the more plumb I can make this base part, the better this whole structure is going to be. I could have put this thing together, but it was getting dark and I really wanted to show you guys how the rest of this goes together. So I got my slightly wider diameter pole on the ground, looking pretty good. And you really want to make sure this one is as plumb as you can get it. I'm going to put my center pole in there. Oh, looking mighty nice. So our root cellar here is going to be a 14-foot interior diameter and 8 feet tall. Now I got my pole arm here. I'm just going to attach that and then we should be good. All right, now this is looking really good. Whew, crazy exciting. Now I should be able to freely maneuver the arm all the way around. So I'm just adjusting my L bracket here, and pretty much anything from this L bracket over to the end, I'm going to dig a small trench going all the way around. Are you ready for trench digging? Let's get this done so we can get some bags filled. Yeah! Man, I almost forgot. Look at this, I'm bald. Jessica gave me a haircut earlier. Nice and tight. Yeah! This is a haircut that says, let's get it done. Oh! I think the shovel's going to be almost absolutely useless out here because there's so much rock and gravel. So I'm actually going to go right into the mattock and just kind of start scraping things up and then moving it that way. Now, kind of use my pole compass here as a guide. I can easily see how wide I'm going to need to get this trench, but I'm going to make it maybe just over the width of the bags and maybe about a foot deep. Now the purpose of doing a gravel trench like this, you want your foundation to be slightly below the frost line. We don't have too much of a frost line here. Plus you want like a moisture barrier so that moisture isn't getting wicked up straight into the bags. We're putting a gravel trench down here just as a precautionary thing. I think with such a solid structure like Earthbag, I think you want just a little bit of flexibility in the foundation. Finally got that trench all the way around. Man, that thing was a beast. Every time I swung that mattock, clank, 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 just hitting on the rocks. It was ridiculous. If you see down there, I mean, it's just gravel. It's like gravel with a little dirt mixed in. But look at the size of these rocks that I also pulled out. Yeah, that's right. All that came just from that trench, just from a little, like 1.5 foot, 2 foot wide trench. There's a lot of material I got out from there. So anyway, now that I dug up the gravel from that trench, I'm gonna go put some more gravel in. So this is the gravel pile we got over here. I've been using this for a lot of projects, but I knew that we might need this for the house build. That's why I got like 13 tons of gravel. There's still a lot of gravel there. So time to get this moving. I gotta get it done today. Let's see if I can do it. I'm gonna try and move all this gravel, get that in the trench because I wanna get this build going. Woo! Trying to psych myself up. I have got a lot of gravel to move and I gotta do it quickly. It's not gonna be easy. I'm gonna try and lay 4 to 6 inches of gravel all the way around that trench. It's gonna be a lot of gravel, y'all. Gonna be a lot of trips moving back and forth. Now really, with all these piles of dirt around, I really don't have too many options of dumping the gravel in. So we'll see how this goes. Well, I got things spread around pretty good down there. It's just now getting the level down there and seeing if there are any high spots, any low spots, and just kind of move that gravel around. So this is looking good. Jess and I, we went around taking measurements around the trench. This is looking really good. We are ready to set down bags. Very cool. Today's the day, y'all. Time to start filling these bags. My partner in crime's coming. Can't fill bags without this lady. Say hey. Say hey, hey. Say fill some bags. Uh-oh, here it goes. How's it feel?
Good, first bag of our house.
I'm hoping these first couple rows are just gonna be kind of easy. We're pulling the dirt right from the center of the room here. Just dirt right from the room, going into the bags to build the room. I love the stretching. Important to take care of that body. Keep that body limber. Piles rolled in. That feels freaking amazing. Doing this work during the monsoon season is perfect. Sometimes you get some clouds, and honestly, the rain is just going to help moisten the soil and keep everything around here from drying out, which is really a strong suit for our case. Jessica and I were just having a discussion, on whose idea this was, just to use the soil right from the center here right into the bag. I'm thinking it was my idea. She said she's remembered things a little differently. Either way, I'm taking the credit. You're beginning to feel again the rigors of filling bags? Gotta get back into that bag filling shape. As you can see, we reached the point. We put the black pipe and nudge that against the side of the bag, and when we put the next bag in, we're going to nudge that up against the other side and just cinch it in there. Looking mighty. This is like our last bag. Woo. This ain't no joke, is it? That's a pro move right there. First course filled. Oh, nice. Just gonna be busy doing something else. I'm gonna start the tamping process. Then it's the barbed wire, and then woo, and we're gonna keep on building from there. Woo, it's a beautiful morning. We're getting harassed by that bee again. Just that one bee. And we're ready. We're at it again. Doing course number 2. So Jessica's all about it. This area is looking really good. I mean, not only are we filling the bags, but we're prepping the inside foundation of the cellar. The crazy bee is back. This thing does not want to leave us alone. Straight following you. It's that bee, man. Bee's crazy.
We're gonna have to work with our veils.
I don't know.
It's gone again. No, it's not.
No, it's not. It's still here.
I suppose if it stings, then we don't have to worry about it anymore.
But that's on you, bro. Or, well, I guess it wouldn't be a bro, would it?
It's acting like a bro.
Why's it gotta be like that? Why are bros gotta be aggressive?
It's like, come at me, bro.
Come at me, bro. It is. It's kind of just like.
It's getting up in my
Kinda
face.
be
Like,
like-
what?
What are you doing here?
Bumping
Why you
next
up
to me.
why you up all in my space? Last bag in place. Woo! Course number 2 that's been filled. I just got to come back out here, tamp it. A large part of this was using up just a bunch of the material that was down here in the middle. Now we have this all cleared out. But now that we're there, the foundation is ready to go. Alright, so I gotta fill up this root cellar foundation with all this gravel. But I figure just dumping it in there is gonna create a big mess. It's gonna get all over the bags. It's gonna get between the bags and the earth. And that would just be a waste. But I think I got an interesting solution. I just dump the gravel on there, get it right to the center where I need it to be, and I'll just spread it around. And it's just basically a sheet of corrugated metal resting on top of a 2x4. Very simple, but effective. So before I get too carried away with the gravel, I'm going to install the rest of my pipe here. Got my 3-inch ABS coupler, got my Odie's all-purpose cement. So I'm going to connect this pipe up, put some holes in there. One of our concerns is that there could be radon buildup. So we're just doing this as a precautionary thing so we don't have gas buildup inside the house. The gas will be able to escape here, get on the outside where it won't cause anyone any harm. So just a little precautionary thing for us. Now that I got this pipe together, I'm going to put some holes in it to perforate it. One thing is I couldn't find any 3-inch perforated pipe. I don't even know if they make it. But I figure I'll make my own. Just got some 3-inch ABS. I'll put in my own holes. Got a 1/2-inch drill here. And I'll just drill these in. I figure 1/2 inch, plenty big enough for the gas to get in, but then it should be small enough where the gravel won't find its way in. Now, I'm not measuring these out at all. I'm just eyeballing it. It's gonna get all covered in gravel anyway. Nice, looking solid. Now just put a cap on over here. We're all good to go for the pipe. I'm just quickly installing a 3-inch cap over our pipe just to stop gravel from getting into the end. And then I'm just still spreading more of that gravel going around the base of the interior of the root cellar. Now the ground's all covered here, but I'm definitely not done. I have to put in enough gravel to cover that pipe, and I'm going to try and actually make it even to the first layer of bags, and that'll make a nice, even, sturdy interior floor for the root cellar. Now that I got the gravel in place, the center's looking pretty level, I am going to put a moisture barrier around the bags. We're probably going to do this for both of the underground portions of this build. Since this is going to be a living situation, since this is going to be our house, I think we want to try and keep as much of the moisture, any moisture that might get into these underground portions, at bay. So let me show you what we got for a moisture barrier. So we had this bit of plastic outside of our trailer for the longest time. We actually got this delivered when we got the liner for the cistern. So this was going to be for the outside of the cistern, but we ended up not needing it. But I was thinking, perfect, now we can use this for the outside of the underground portion of the root cellar. That way, it'll provide a little extra barrier. Now I'm thinking with those earth bags, moisture probably wouldn't get in through the bags, but unfortunately there's so many of those little crevices where between the bags that the moisture could possibly seep in. So I'm thinking this would provide just a little bit extra barrier to prevent that from happening. Now this is 16 mil, which is probably thicker than we need, but it's here, so why don't we use it? 75 feet long, 10 feet wide. Should be larger than we need, but sometimes you want them a little larger than not big enough. You can always cut away excess, but you can't stretch out if it's not big enough. So I think my plan here is to roll the liner out, try and get it to go as much around the root cellar as possible, and then just kind of lower it down. We'll see how that works out. Maybe I'll pull the top side in, leave the bottom out, I'm gonna backfill a little bit, and then we'll have to flip it back and forth depending on whether we're doing bags or backfilling the trench. So this is a 16 mil plastic. It's going to be a little thicker, a little bit more unwieldy than I would like, but I think it'll be just fine. I think I'll backfill around the edges and around the first two courses that we did. Tamp that down, get it into place. I think that'll lock the liner in place. And then when we're ready to do bags, we'll flip it back over. And then when we're ready to backfill, we'll put it back. So it's going to be a little back and forth with the plastic, but I think it'll give us a nice moisture barrier in between. Whew, that is a lot of plastic though. I got most of the backfilling done around here, but I couldn't get any around this area because of the pipe. I'm going to need to put in this 10-foot pipe going up. So just get this in place real quick. And then I'll do some more backfilling right around this area to secure the pipe, get it a little more secure at the base. Looking good, looking good. Kind of looks a little funny with that pipe just sticking out of the ground like that. Like I said, we don't want moisture getting into the root cellar. So I think that liner is going to really do a really good job of being that moisture barrier. And then the whole radon pipe is just a precaution. So this will just be an extra measure to help that gas escape so it's not trapped inside there, poisoning us. So from here on out, it's just filling the bags, keep stacking them up, and backfilling all the way to the top. We're going to start course number 3 tonight, but that means I got to get some things done before then. One of those is steps, how we're going to get down from the upper floor to the bottom floor. But we're going to do this in conjunction with the bags. So it's going to be very cool. I'm excited. I prepared a board just for this occasion. Now as you can see, I prepared it in my normal fashion, burnt it, oiled it. I just wanted to be a little prepared just in case it does get a little wet. It's going to be exposed to the elements for a little bit until we get some kind of type of cover over the root cellar. So until then, this is going to be the steps. I just got to cut this baby in half and it's ready to go. So like I said, one of the cool things is that we'll be integrating the stairs in with the bags. You got to see how this works. But first off, I'm going to cut the wire that I just put on here, peel it back, and then I'm going to attach a couple of boards so I can attach my stair to it. I'm just going to nail this to the bag just to give me a little anchor for the stair. Nice. Now I need to get these back into place. Barbed wire back in place. Okay, you see me start to put this thing together, but I added some other things to it. I'm hoping that this works. It's kind of just ramshackled together with a bunch of things I had lying around. I mean, I'm not gonna spend any money on making some kind of chute, but I'll show you what I did here. Just made a simple little stand up here, added a couple legs for braces, screwed in some sheet metal. Let me take you down below. Same thing down here, just added a couple larger braces and a larger stand here. Obviously, a lot more weight's gonna be coming down, pushing on here, sitting in here. I added some aluminum splashing just so when dirt comes down, it's got a little spot to hold it. That way Jess can scoop it out, put it in the bags. As you can see, it's 2 pieces of roofing material connected. And then I added some metal strapping over the top as well as under the bottom. So we're gonna see if the new DDS system can hold together, if it can withstand the punishment we're gonna put it through. In case you're just coming to the game, DDS, Dirt Delivery System, hashtag DDS. So we'll see if this holds up. It doesn't have to look pretty, it just has to work. Now you might be asking yourself, why didn't you just make something where you can dump the dirt directly into the bags? Jess wasn't really comfortable with that. She likes to be very precise. Cans is how she does it. Plus, I figure I can just kind of go full tilt, grabbing dirt, bringing it over, filling the chute, and then she can grab as much as she needs. So I'm excited. We're about to start course number 3. Get to try out my new slide here. I have my Excalibur! What's up? You ready for course number 3?
Yep.
I don't know if this thing's gonna hold up in the high winds or not. You all set? Can I start sending dirt down?
Yeah.
I wanna put your face right there. So we're out this morning. We're gonna get it done. We got a lot of work to do this morning. We need to get it done quickly because the temperatures are gonna rise, and they're gonna rise quickly. Yeah, these bees are starting to get a little aggressive. And so, I mean, we're a decent distance away from the hive we have over there. 1 or 2 bees will come out and they'll just come right up on you and then just start kind of pushing on you.
Bumping into you, dive bombing you.
So, I mean, yesterday, a bee started coming after me and I freaked out. I started running. I got stung in the back. Then one came after you.
Yep, and it got me in the leg.
We're just gonna have to be careful. The soil's gotten pretty dry, so I keep this jug of water, put a little bit of dirt in the wheelbarrow, put a little bit of water, a little bit of dirt, mix it up, then it goes down the chute. What a crazy course. I mean, those bees yesterday were ridiculous.
It's something that we're gonna have to be cautious of, you know, if we're keeping bees here. The range that those bees can be defending is a lot greater with Africanized bees, so it's scary.
If you're in the Southwest, just be careful with the bees. All right, but course number 4 done. Another one in the books. Very exciting. There's a bunch of things I gotta do before we can keep going on this project. I gotta clear out all these rocks that I pulled out from in the ground, all these mounds of dirt I've been shoveling. All these rocks gotta go. They gotta get out of our way. They're just gonna impede our progress from this point out. So kind of like last time, I'm just gonna get down there, pull that tarp up over the bags. That way it'll give me plenty of room to start backfilling. We wanna keep backfilling as we go up on these layers. And we're making so much progress here. But it has just been difficult getting all this dirt moved in this 100-degree weather. Yesterday was probably about 103 degrees. Today was about 101. But luckily today, the clouds rolled in, got a little bit of rain, not a whole lot, but it was enough just to kind of cool things down a little bit. And that was a huge help. I got a lot of dirt moved. I'm gonna try and get it done today. Let's get it done. After I get it all filled, I gotta tamp it down. Gotta tamp it down nice and tight. That way the wall around the Earthbag structure is tight and strong as well. we got about an inch of rain during that storm. Just torrential downpour, came down quick, hard, everywhere. It was crazy. The wind was nuts. It was intense. Luckily, I had gotten all this backfilled by then. All that rain probably saved me a lot of work in tamping this soil down here. I'm sure all that water probably went down there, condensed it all real nice. I'm still gonna get down there with the tamper and just make sure everything's nice and real solid down there. But that rain probably saved me a lot of work. Course number 5 has begun. 2 bags in. How you feeling? You ready? You ready to get it done?
Yep.
We've just started building our own house, starting with the root cellar, because food storage is crazy important here. Now we're excited about this build. I wanted to try and get out here early, try and get as much work done before the sun comes up and things really started heating up. The course was halfway done. We wanted to get out there early to finish that up because you don't want to leave those untamped bags just sitting there. So my idea was I was going to get out early, take crew, go for a walk. It was like 5 a.m. The sun hadn't even really risen yet. But this particular morning, we started heading along the road right outside of our property. And he's sniffing in the bushes, and then I hear a sound. It was kind of quiet, but it did sound like a rattle. I was looking around, trying to find this thing because I wanted to know where it was. Well, unfortunately, crew found this thing before I did, and I seen him jump back. And then I saw it. Yeah, it was a tiny little baby rattlesnake. It couldn't have been more than 6 inches long. When I saw that, my heart just sank, and I didn't know what to do. I brought him back to the trailer. By this time, Jessica was up, and she was getting ready, and I'm sure you were not expecting when I came in. I came in, and I was like, take a look at his face, and you're like, what's going on? I think he just got bit by a rattlesnake, but I wasn't sure because he jumped back. I was hoping maybe he avoided it. But what did you see when you looked?
I definitely saw a bite mark just above his nose on his muzzle, and it looked like there was liquid on it, so it was a wet bite, which means he got injected with that venom. His face was already starting to swell up, and you could tell he was in pain.
And this is only minutes after the bite.
We did wash off the area just in case there was that venom near the surface. I was scared. He was kind of snorting and making some noises, and I was afraid maybe he wouldn't be able to breathe or something.
Breathing was definitely a big concern, but we're out here kind of in the middle of nowhere. I think there are places in the town close by, but they didn't open up for a while. So our only recourse was to go to like the next biggest town,
which was an hour drive away.
It was the worst day.
Yeah.
It was the weekend, and a lot of these vet places were just closed on the weekend.
So we headed out to the nearest vet hospital. We figured that would be open by the time we could drive there, and we loaded crew in the back of the car. His face was swelling even more at that point. He was vomiting, and he was in a lot of pain. He was just kind of laying there with his eyes closed.
So we got to a place, and we still had to wait there for a little bit for them to open. They had so many restrictions at this place because of COVID.
We had to call in.
You cannot go inside this building. They won't let you inside. You have to call for everything.
So you talked to someone on the phone for a while, and they gave an estimate.
Treatment with the anti-venom would have run $1,500.
Now at this point, crew, he looked more alert. The swelling wasn't getting any worse. He didn't have any other symptoms that he was showing. Crew might have actually been really lucky.
So the first day, I think we actually saw him swell up, but then it started going down.
Yeah.
The swelling actually started reducing on the first day. And on the third day, you almost couldn't even tell. And despite like all having to take care of crew and worrying about what was going on with him and trying to keep an eye on him, and we still had to keep building on our home, on the root cellar. We started a course. It's half done, still not tamped, and you want to get that finished and tamped before your mix dries out. Otherwise, it might not be as strong. We had to get back out there. We had to keep working. We had to finish that row, and I had to tamp it tight.
we were able to do that and
We got that done.
take care of crew.
So that was really scary. Definitely something you don't want to see happen. But luckily, crew made it through. He's happy, healthy, completely back to normal, completely being the stubborn butt that he likes to be. And our build continues. Really been busting butt out here. 4 or 5 courses in a week. And man, it is a lot of dirt. Plus I've been backfilling and everything like that. Woo! It may seem like a pretty easy task, but it's actually a lot to backfill with just a shovel and a wheelbarrow. Man, it is taking a lot of time and a lot of material to backfill this. It is just so much space in between the bags and the wall. Made a huge crater already, and this is just backfilling, this huge crater. But I gotta keep at it. So that cistern took like 3 months to put together. But it's all in the interest of being more self-sufficient and self-sustainable here as far as like water goes. Now the cool thing about our setup is with the height of the cistern, it will all gravity feed along that pipe coming into the house. Super excited about this. I've been waiting to do this for a while. I'm gonna finally connect the lifeline of the cistern to our house. It's gonna come in through the bottom, come in through the root cellar, and from there we'll be able to pump it up to the kitchen and the bathroom. It's all coming together! Once it's connected to the house, I'll have it connected to a filtration system, a pump, and then it'll go out to the house from there. And so the cool thing about this is that cistern holds nearly 14,000 gallons of water, which should provide more than enough water for all of our household needs. I mean, right now we're getting by on less than 5,000 gallons. So 14,000 is quite a bit. And we'll be able to use that for growing because we really want to get started on a garden. That'll be the next big thing after the house.
Water security is really important out here. You know, we wanted to get off of the city grid and the city utilities for a number of reasons.
We just don't want to rely on other people's systems. I mean, just recently we've seen how fragile all this stuff is. The more that we can do just out here by ourselves, getting our own power, getting our own water, growing our own food, I think it's just going to make things much more stable for us, especially going forward in the future, because you never know what's going to happen.
You know, we don't have a well out here. It might be a possibility for us in the future, but we really want to focus on that rainwater collection.
See how far we can push that.
Because, you know, well water isn't always reliable, especially in this area. Having this water set up and now having it connected to the house, it's a pretty big deal for us.
To me, this really feels like the first big step in this actually becoming a very sustainable, workable home. We got the water supplied in here, and then once we start on the other underground portion, we'll have the power hooked up into there, and then we'll practically be there. Practically have a home. Now there seems to be some confusion out there. What exactly are we building out here? Is it a root cellar? Is it a house? Is it an underground bunker in the desert? Maybe it's all those things. There she goes, everyone. Taking her position. Get back in the hole. How does it feel like you're always in the hole?
I don't mind it.
Actually doesn't even feel like a hole anymore.
No. Well, yeah. It doesn't feel like a pit.
Doesn't feel like a pit. It feels like a structured hole. How are you gonna feel living in a hole in the ground?
I don't know.
So we've been getting a lot of questions.
Yeah, people are wondering what exactly we're building out here in the middle of the desert.
It's a little suspicious. Root cellar, house, bunker in the desert. Technically, we're building a root cellar. This is going to be so important for us as we continue to start growing more of our own food. But it's actually part of our house. This will be one of the below ground portions of our house. We have 2 below ground portions, 2 above ground portions. This will be 1/4 of the house. But it is kind of like an underground bunker. We're building with earth bags. And earth bags have a long, storied history. So incredible. Jess and I were out here late last night. We did 12 bags. We did that in about an hour. That's definitely a record for us. But it just proves that the bottleneck in this whole operation is just digging up the dirt, getting it to where it needs to go, making sure it's wet enough. So I was hustling, I was moving, and then we got 12 bags done in about an hour. So I was out here 5 a.m. in the morning, shoveling, getting dirt ready. Then I took crew for a walk. When I got back to this. Look at that. She's knocking it out. She's climbing out of the hole, getting her own damn dirt. That's dedication. I love it. I gotta get back to it. Let's get this done. Another hour. So earth bags or sandbags have been used for a long time. Used for bunkers and erosion control. Back in the day, you'd probably see these things built with burlap sacks, stacked together to form a little structure. It was very advantageous at the time because you could transport these things at quite a distance fairly cheap because it's just the bags. But it's labor intensive. So I'm excited. This will be the first edition of a Velcro plate, well, a couple of Velcro plates. I'm going to attach this thing on to the bags so that I can eventually nail something to the wall. And this one will actually be for one of our electric conduit boxes. I'll put a box in the front and then I can wire up a plug over here. So this will be important because this will be for the electrical plug. And then I can plug my water pump into here. So it's just as simple as nailing these down to the bags. Oh my goodness, so we have now started course number 10. I think we're both feeling a little exhausted. I feel like I've been shoveling all day. Oh wait, I have been shoveling all day. And I gotta do a little bit more shoveling tonight. We gotta get as much as we can done tonight. How you feeling, Jess? You ready for course number 10?
Yep.
We gotta summon the power of the earth! Get charged by the elements. But earth bags are incredibly durable. I mean, they were used for bunkers, so they can definitely handle small artillery fire. Of course, they're also great at controlling water. They're fire resistant.
And they can be built in such a way that they're very wind resistant or even earthquake resilient.
So earth bags make fantastic structures like bunkers and erosion control.
Which are good temporary structures.
But it wasn't until Nader Khalili stepped in, an architect, who really took this idea, using these materials that were once used for war, to make affordable housing. Here goes last bag for 10th course. That's where we're at today. Earth bags are a fantastic way to build in our climate. Perfect for wildfires, possible earthquakes, all the intense wind we get out here. We're very excited to be using this technique for building. But it's very exciting. So we're building the root cellar now. We'll be building the other underground portion shortly thereafter, and then we're gonna start building up from there. This is it, course number 11. How you feeling, girl?
Good.
You ready? Oh, let's do it. Man, you can't reach that. You can't reach that. you almost had it. You almost had it. Now what you see here, we're trying something a little new. We've noticed that since we're putting the stairs in, it's actually increasing the height of the bags a little bit. I mean, it makes sense, right? Put a board underneath there, the bag's gonna be a little higher than other areas that don't have boards under it. So what she's done here is filled the bag about half full and then scooted the dirt around. Hopefully this will even out the bags in the long run. Something we're trying out. I think it'll work well. So here's an example of these flatter bags. We got several of them now in a row, and I think this will work really nice to help level things off. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. You get done by a harvester, did you? Oh, man. Here she comes to start the day. Course number 12. The Dirty Dozen.
Keeping my gloves in the bag this time.
Oh yeah, because of the ants, eh? You don't put it on the ground.
Do not put gloves on the ground.
Not here anyway. Look at this. She's armoring up against the Broby. Can you explain the new Earthbag building outfit? Why are you all decked out like that?
We've been having problems kind of off and on with bees attacking us. Today was bad.
Today was bad.
So I'm wearing this. This is not comfortable at all.
You mean you'd prefer not doing Earthbag building in 90-degree weather in your bee suit?
But it's got to get done somehow. So it's got me thinking about what to do with the bees. You know, we can't have them attacking us unprovoked while we're trying to build a house.
Maybe they love us because we're too sweet.
Okay.
Now Jess is all decked out over there. She's a little freaked out. I'm a little freaked out because I actually got stung. Back of the neck. So I was over there just innocently getting some water. That's when the bee first started coming around. Started just smacking into me, smacking into the IBC tote. It was just everywhere. Finally, I get back, I'm just shoveling dirt, minding my own business. Comes after me again, this time right over here by the pile. Now this next time I go running, I get away. But I go back out digging, comes back again. This time when I try getting away, tagged me in the back of the neck. It was determined to get me that time. So I've definitely been a little hesitant on being out here. She's like, if you're gonna be out here, because I wasn't wearing all black shirts, she's like, if you're gonna be out here, put on something a little lighter. So I'm going with Link, Breath of the Wild, If that bee comes back, I gotta protect her. So we literally just finished course number 12, and we had to do a little bit under duress.
It was hard to even get the course done because they kept coming and dive bombing us, and then we'd have to stop and run inside so we didn't get stung. It took a long time to just finish the course, and it was kind of scary.
And again, because this is a wild swarm, the chances are likely they could have some Africanized genes in them. They could be a bit more aggressive. They're definitely showing traits that we just wouldn't normally see in other beehives.
The Africanized bees, potentially it can be very dangerous. It can be deadly.
You definitely got to take that seriously, and especially around here in the Southwest. Well, the build's going to continue. We're going to work on the hive, trying to get that settled. But meanwhile, we still got to work on this build, so we are going to have our hands full. Do you need help with the barbed wire?
No. I think so.
You got any advice for people that want to do barbed wire that well?
There are easier ways of doing this.
Are you saying we sometimes do things the hard way?
Yeah, this is a way that Jim heard of while he was attending a workshop, and I thought it was a good idea because, you know, if you have rocks or bricks holding the barbed wire down, you gotta move them constantly. There's another technique where you can tie bricks to pieces of twine, and then you just throw the bricks over the sides and you keep kind of weaving it as you go, and that actually helps tie the structure together more, but you would have to buy a lot of twine. So this is the way that we're going. It's a little tricky, but after you do it a bunch, it becomes a little easier. It's tough working with the barbed wire because it's a little unwieldy and pokey. Since the wire is twisted together, you use that tension to hold the barbed wire into the bags. Kind of lock the prongs into the bag one way with one set of prongs and another way with the other set of prongs, and it holds it in there.
Nice. Yeah, course 14 underway. Oh, man, look how close we are to the top. Dang, we're kicking chicken out here, girl.
Chicken?
Kicking chicken.
Don't kick chicken.
Okay, but if chickens were progress.
Then kick their butts.
Sorry, no chickens were harmed in the making of this Earthbag root cellar. No actual chickens were kicked. Dang, I think we just got 8 more bags left. It's crazy. Jess is filling the bags, I'm filling the dirt. We're just moving right along. Got like 18 bags done. Took maybe like a couple hours. It's crazy. One of the harsh things about doing a course right at the beginning of the day is now that we're done filling, I'm gonna have to start tamping probably on one of the hottest parts of the day, one of the hottest sunniest parts of the day. That's okay though, just gotta get in there, get it done. What can you do? Woo! Today was a busy day. I got the dirt prepared. Jessica's got the barbed wire in place. Just getting the bags now, and then we're gonna start on course number 15. That's right, we're gonna get it done. So where were you just at?
I was checking out the bee area.
And what'd you see?
I saw no bees.
We'll definitely have to talk about that. But in the meantime, we're starting course number 15. You ready, girl?
I'm ready.
That's what I like to hear. Let's get it done. Good morning, everyone. Man, I've been out here before sunrise, working on getting the dirt ready. We got 8 bags done before the sun went down. Been out here busting butt. Like I said, I got out here before daybreak. Just came out here getting it done. Last bag's in place for course number 15. I still have to get in here. I still have to tamp it. It's getting hot now, so lucky me. I don't know what you did, but they're angry.
Just a little recap from the bees. We did have a hive of bees. It was a wild swarm. We didn't buy them, we didn't catch them. They just kind of moved right into the hive themselves. Kind of as the summer wore on, we started noticing they would come up, buzz around us, and start kind of bumping into us. Then we actually started getting stung by them. So knowing that wild bees in Arizona are most likely Africanized bees, we definitely wanted to take that seriously. We made the decision to requeen the hive so that we could introduce other genes that would make them a little more gentle. So actually we ordered a new queen, was an Italian queen honeybee. Then we got suited up, we went into the hive. We were using smoke to try to calm them, but we were still agitated. When I opened things up, I saw that the comb was stuck to the side of the hive. So I took my hive tool, I was trying to separate the comb, and I was trying to be really careful, but they got more and more agitated. I was like, I think we have to stop, especially working with these particular bees. It was a little too risky. So we decided to call a local beekeeper, and we found someone who lives not too far away. And so he took the new queen and he took the whole hive.
We got the potential dangerous situation removed from here, and it's not like we won't ever deal with bees again. We might do it again when we're ready. So we took some measurements. One more course will put us up to 7 feet in height. I just prepped the last step. I'm gonna get that installed. Then just can do the barbed wire, then we'll start the last course tonight. While Jessica's working on the barbed wire, there's always something to do around here. I'm taking it upon myself just to kind of start backfilling that trench. Just this trench backfilling is just gonna take a while. It's gonna take a lot of work. So getting a little bit done here and there will just make it a little bit easier. A little bit at a time, you know? I got a whole bunch of dirt prepped, ready to go. Jessica's already hitting the bags. Course number 16 is well on its way. It's very windy out here, so we're gonna bring you the action as we can. I want to bring specific attention to what Jessica's doing here.
Trying to level things out a little bit. Got a little bit wavy because we had to adjust the bags for the stairs and some of the other pieces that we put in that kind of raised the bags up a little bit. So since this is probably our last row, I'm going to adjust how much I fill the bags. I'll make some thinner and some thicker, and hopefully that'll help to level things out.
oddly enough, I think we overcompensated a little bit.
Yeah.
So the part over there is a little lower by the stairs, and it's also a little low by where we have the pipe and some of the boards in on this side. And the parts where we don't have anything are some of the higher parts. So hopefully this brings us a little closer together. We're almost done with the last course. Course number 16. We're out of dirt, so I need to get dirt for at least 2 more bags. Gonna knock that out real quick. We're getting so close to this. So close, it's exciting. Gotta hurry up though. Get these 2 bags done, then get the tamping done. It's getting close to sundown and I'll lose light very quickly. A lot of the soil here got really dry. Gotta make sure to mix it with a decent amount of water. Get out all this organic matter, all those rocks. The roughest part about doing it in the middle of the day right now is it's still getting to mid-90s. And everything dries out real quick. You want to make sure things are filled and tamped before it dries out too quick, you know what I mean? I'm estimating right now, building in this heat, we're using about a gallon of water per bag. It's about 26 bags per row. So you can do the math on how many gallons of water this root cellar is taking. This is y'all last bag of the root cellar. The wall is done. That's a huge task. Don't worry, we still got a lot of work to do, but this feels fantastic. What I'm going to do is finish backfilling around the bags and at the same time create the trench that the Earthbag dome will sit on, because we're going to do a dome on top of the root cellar. This is actually all part of our house. So I figure as long as I got to dig the trench, I might as well use that as kind of like the backfill around the bags, then just put in some gravel, then I'm done. So let me show you how I'm marking things out. We got our pole compass there that we use to keep our Earthbag wall straight, so that it's going straight up, that it's a nice cylinder. I kind of had to make some adjustments, use a little duct tape, use a little PVC pipe, drilled a hole at the end of the PVC pipe, then stuck a screwdriver in there. Then just took it and just kind of went around in a 12-foot circle. Simple as that. So now this little mark with the screwdriver, that's not going to stay in the dirt very long. The wind, other things might come and just mess that marking up. What I'm going to do is take some marking spray paint, go along the edge. That way I'll know for sure where I got to dig. So I'm going to hack away at the dirt around here to create the trench for the dome, as well as allowing that to backfill around the bags. It's going to be a lot of digging. It's going to be a lot of shoveling. This doesn't have to be super deep. I don't know if I mentioned it, but it only really has to be like about a foot down. Who needs a machine out here when you got these? Oh! Is crew helping me dig trenches? Well, looks like we got the trench dug out. I might need a little bit more cleaning here along this edge, but it's looking pretty good. And there's still quite a bit more backfilling I gotta do. I gotta raise that inner edge right up alongside the bags. Then I can start putting gravel right along this outer edge here. So again, there's still a lot of work to do. We're out here with a mission, and we want to try and live our lives in a more sustainable way. You know, that's what this is all about. We're out here, and yeah, we'd like to teach people some things, lessons learned. But really, this is all about encouragement. We believe that so much positive impact can happen in the world, but it's up to individuals to make that conscious choice to make those changes. Make those changes in your own sphere of influence. Change yourself first. And then you can start right around you by the choices you make and by the things you do on a daily basis.
I mean, just looking around at the state of the world today, I see a lot of people kind of pointing fingers at each other, trying to blame other people for problems. Everyone's just shouting at each other, pointing fingers. No one's actually doing anything. You know, it's not up to other people to come in and solve all the problems. That's a big part of why we moved out here and started living like this. We wanted to take some of these matters into our own hands, especially when it comes to providing for our own basic needs. And you can't always depend on other people to take care of you. Another big problem is when there's just this consolidation of power and money, there's a big chance for corruption and losing sight of the needs of individual people and some of the things that are really the most important in life. So we'd like to start a movement of people, individuals, families, small groups, really taking back that power and working together, helping each other out, and having the resources to learn the skills that they need to take care of themselves physically, emotionally, and just build healthier lives, build a healthier world.
A lot of people thought two people here couldn't build what we're building. You know, people's like, oh, you're crazy, you're superhuman. It's not about that. We're just two ordinary people. Well, maybe a little crazy, but it's just that will and determination to get up every day and put some dirt into bags, and pretty soon you have a 7-foot wall.
And everyone has the power to do something positive.
Now I need to get dirt backfilled around those bags, but it's a little too steep where I dug out the trench in order to get the wheelbarrow in and out where I need to get that dirt. So what I started doing was just adding the gravel right around those edges. That way I'm able to get the wheelbarrow in and out and get the dirt right next to the bags. So as you can see, dirt and gravel right where it needs to be. I'm gonna get that done all the way around the bags, get that tamped in nice and tight, then I'll be ready. So as you can see, just a little bit more to backfill along with the gravel. Then I gotta go back in with the dirt. I still got a lot more to do. That should be it for the gravel. Now that I got that down kind of like a gravel ramp, I'm going to build up the dirt right around the edges. So now that I went all the way around with the gravel, time to go all the way around with the dirt. A lot of work yet to do. Woo! I'll do that about 100 more times. Isn't it beautiful? Isn't it beautiful? Ah! Of course, you see, Jess and I were out late last night, and luckily she came out here and she was a huge help. We got the rest of this backfilled with dirt. I got everything tamped down, looking real nice. It's crazy to think how this was once, not too long ago, just a big giant hole in the ground. And well, it's still a big giant hole in the ground, but it's a giant hole in the ground surrounded by bags. It's like a structure. What I'm going to do is make specialized cleats for the joists to sit on. I want to prep all the wood and make sure it's weatherized. Some of it might be up next to some earth. Hey! Some of it might be sitting next to dirt, and I just want to make sure it's all protected, that it's going to last a long time. So I have got a lot of cutting to do. I've already cut a bunch of plywood, and then I'm cutting just some extra 2x6 lumber that we had around. I'm going to cut these to approximately 10-inch lengths. I already got the plywood done, so I got a lot of these to cut. And I got to burn them, oil them, and get them ready. Protect your wood, y'all. Still got a whole lot more wood to do. Willie. Give me a hug. Give me a hug. So yesterday, I was trying to figure out the best way I could put these cleats together. I was trying to figure out a quick, easy, accurate way to do it. So I came up with this, just a little jig to help keep things straight. I just basically screwed a couple of pieces of 2x4 into the table here. I put one board as a spacer, but I could put a couple boards on either side, and I'm ready to put together my cleat. Put on my plywood, and it's just as easy as screwing it down. Now the first few I put together, I kind of did them standing up. I thought laying them down flat would be a much more sturdy orientation. I might end up flipping these over. So I still got a lot of boards to prepare. Let's get it done. Alright, so Jessica's out here now. We got another station set up, so now we'll be able to knock out 2 sets of boards at the same time. Woo! We're gonna get dirty, y'all! See, this is how an expert painter prepares wood. Look at this technique. This is it, y'all. Last 2 boards burned, scrubbed, oiled, ready to go. It's just after lunchtime. Both Jessica and I ate and we're ready to go. Honestly, I thought prepping these boards were gonna take a lot longer than it did. But with Jessica's help, we got it done. So now, let's get these boards in place. Very excited to try out using these cleats. I'm very excited to get these joists in place. Let's get it done, y'all. Jessica's actually busy taking a shower, so I'm gonna see if I can get the last of the cleats and boards in place myself. Might not be too difficult, 8-foot sections. What I want to do with this pipe is I want to bring it out and come up from outside of the building. So this is where the bags will lay for the dome we're going to build, and I want this to go underneath the bags, up and out of the building. So I'm going to move some of this gravel, dig a little trench, and then alter the pipe a little bit. So that's just a tiny trench, just a few feet, no big deal for me. Now I'm going to cut that pipe, run it across, then bring it back up. Made a little trip, picked this up at the local hardware store. They actually sell this ABS pipe by the foot, so that's kind of handy. Now we're pumping this thing outside. Just got to do a little backfilling here. We should be good to go. I know, more backfilling. That's what it's all about here, digging holes and filling them back in. Yeah, simple as that. It's always nice knocking out them easy projects. It's always nice when you get those easy projects like that radon pipe. That wasn't too bad. Now, all day yesterday, I pretty much spent leveling these boards. I did not think it would take that long. It was definitely a little bit of a challenge. It took a lot of work. I guess you don't realize just how off a little bit, just going around the circumference of those bags, just kind of how wavy everything is. Everything kind of needed to be adjusted a little bit. There's only so much I can do to really lower any of the joists. So I went to the tallest joist, the one that was up the highest, and then I based all my other measurements off of that. And then what I proceeded to do was then level that out going along the joist. Then I went across and just leveled each joist compared to that first one. So I would go across, starting from that tallest joist, go to the next one, making sure that was level, then making sure that next joist was level from back to front. And just going down the line, side to side, front to back. So it occurred to me that I still have to do one more stair. Otherwise, we're talking about like over a 1 foot drop from the OSB down to the first step. That's not gonna work. And I also gotta get things done because the boss man right there is looking at me. He's watching out, making sure I get everything done, so. Oh, guess he's more concerned about what Mom was doing now. The pressure's off. Flame on! Woo! Okay, that's enough out of you. Whew. So I got my pouch on. You know, when I got the pouch, I mean business. I gotta put in another step. Otherwise, there'd be over a foot drop from the floor to the first step we have in now. And I'm lucky because my air compressor and my air compressor hose reaches all the way over here. So that's real nice. So I'm going to attach the stair, make sure all the joists are still where I put them, and then cinch everything down. While we were out picking up some supplies, I picked up some of these joist hangers. I think this will be real nice for bracing up some of these joists. Alright, I got a couple of boards already, especially I want a couple here along the stairwell. but I'm gonna add a couple of rows going right down the center. Unfortunately, I didn't get that done last night, so knock the rest of this out this morning real quick. I only got 2 more boards to go after this, I think. So, and then I want to screw in the end of each of the joists into those cleats. Get everything cinched in real well. He knows you got things in your pocket.
It's mine. My doodle. Here, sit.
That was hilarious.
That's it.
So I got all my bracing in, looking real good. The last thing I'm gonna do is shore up each of these joists by placing one of these screws inside at the end of each joist. And that should lock in the ends. So then I'll have the middle secure, the ends will be secure, and then I think we'll be ready for the OSB. Now we're almost ready for the subfloor, the OSB. I think what I'm gonna do is add some more boards to the ends of the joists. 1, it'll add more stability to the joists. And 2, it'll provide a good backing for when we backfill around the joists with the earth. So I'm gonna be busy measuring and cutting these boards. Jess is gonna be helping me. She's gonna be prepping the boards, and then we're gonna get them attached. All right, we're about to get at this project. Got the cutting station ready. We got the wood prep station ready. Uh-oh, even the crew station is ready. All right. Well, Jess is finishing up prepping the last of the boards. I'm going to start attaching them and get them in place. I don't think it'll take too long. I just hope I have enough screws. Now we gotta be ready for the OSB. We gotta be ready because I've already started prepping the OSB. I got one panel down here ready to go. Basically, I'm just putting a coat of oil on both sides. That's about it. This is just a mixture of oil and mineral spirits. That's the only thing we're gonna do on this. Just a little something for some extra protection from the elements. So if I'm not mistaken, we're gonna do some kind of like dry run, right? Just gonna lay them all out, see how it looks, make some adjustments, then get everything in place. Right? Passing it all down, right? I still got some things down at the bottom. So when we move this over, I'm gonna have to go down in there to pull anything that we have down there, get that all lifted up before it gets sealed in. So take one last look around. This is the last we'll get to see of the inside of this for a little while. maybe a few months. Oh. Okay, you done down here?
I'm done.
We were able to get 4 of the OSB panels attached yesterday. Feels really nice. Feels like a floor. Feels real solid. Feels real sturdy. I'm loving it. We have 4 more to attach this morning. We're about to get it done. My PIC, my partner in crime, heading right over. We're about to get it done. We did some things like, we added extra blocking where we felt we needed it. We definitely something in the middle, something on the ends. That's gonna help keep the joists from twisting anymore, make them a lot more sturdy so that they don't move around. We ended up kind of using a combination of glue and screws to seal down the OSB. The screws just kind of cinched the OSB right to the boards, so it's a lot tighter fit. And also probably give a nice surface contact between the OSB and the joists. And we also staggered all the OSB. So we just kind of lined up the joints of the OSB along different joists.
And we left about 1/8 inch gap around them to allow for any expansion.
Expansion, y'all. Well, this is it. This is it. OSB is on. Felt like it took forever to get to this point, didn't it? I'm pretty satisfied with the way this came out. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, I feel good.
Feels pretty solid. Now, honestly, by now we thought we were going to move on and start with the other underground portion of the house, but the boss said, no, we gotta finish what we started, and that's just what we're gonna do. We don't have too much more left to do on this, but we do wanna lock and seal the underground Earthbag root cellar as best we can. There's still gaps around where the Earthbags are and the joists, so we wanna get all these filled in so we don't get any critters in there, block any extra light hitting the bags, just completely seal it up. So one thing, we have excess OSB over on the top. So I'm gonna show you some of that off. We have a plan going forward, how we want that to look. Then we're gonna get started with the cob. We're actually going to surround the joists with a cob mix and use that to just seal off any of the gaps we have below the joists. Let's seal off this underground Earthbag root cellar. Let's get it done, y'all. So I'm about to cut some of this OSB around the top of the root cellar. I'm gonna go around with the drill from underneath and just kind of drill through the OSB to kind of give me an idea where the joists are so I don't cut into any of those. I still have some of the stucco mesh left over from when we were messing around with trying to do ferro cement. So I'm gonna kind of wrap this around the joist and the subfloor above the root cellar, and that'll give us a base to start the cob on. I hope we have enough. Looks like I'm a little short in more ways than one. They are coming out from land.
Yeah, there.
You said that bird did not come out from under.
Well, that was a different bird.
So I ended up cutting half of the chicken wire off. Just that excess chicken wire we had was not enough to make it all the way around, so I'll take that other half and continue spreading it around here. That should not only help me get all the way around the joist here on the subfloor, but it'll give me a double layer of chicken wire in some areas. What made us decide to go with cob?
Cheap.
There you go. It's cheap. There's other things we might have been able to do, and we could have thrown a bunch of money at it, and it probably could have went a lot quicker. But actually, I don't think any money we could have thrown at it would have had quite as nice of an effect as not only coming up and sealing up the sides and the corners, but also covering the bags.
Yeah, but I mean, keeping in mind, like, all this cob is not going to be visible.
This cob will not be visible.
It's just functional.
We'll be building up a dirt base around here, so part of the floor will be an earthen floor for this above ground section. You know, can you imagine how much cooler it'll be down there? I see how it is. You come out here when we're ready to play with the mud, is that it? Yep. Whenever there's dirt work to be done, Jessica's on. It's the most fun part. So cob, I mean, definitely, I think that's another tool in your arsenal of natural building techniques.
And we'll definitely be seeing more of that.
Oh, we'll be using a lot of cob coming up. We got over one side done here yesterday. Working with cob is just going to take time, but we are out here, we're working it, we're getting it done. Basically, our main goal out here right now with the cob is just to cover the bags and seal any of the entrances so no animals or things can get inside there. And we're moving right along. I decided to switch to these gloves. I still had a pair of these gloves lying around. We were doing a double layer of vinyl gloves with these kind of work gloves. That does okay, but it's kind of thick. Plus it's gonna be tough to get those gloves, the work gloves clean. I think this is a good compromise. And you get a better feel for the material. It's a little thinner than a double layer of gloves. The trick is to adding as much straw as you can while still keeping it sticky. Once it's not sticky anymore, you've gone too far. You're like, that's a good idea, aren't you?
They're glam gloves.
Glam gloves. Oh, those are gonna be real nice. Like, these are kind of nice because they go up kind of high, but those are even higher. They'll protect the forearms, because I know, like, you can still see it. I got dirt on my forearm from all the mixing and stuff.
Would these be better for mixing? You want the glam gloves?
No, go ahead.
Because if I'm just
Now
applying...
you use the glam gloves, okay?
Okay.
I'm a man, I don't use those glam gloves. Quite a project. We got everything capped off, ready to go. It's still not done, but we wanted to just keep any kind of sunlight off the bags. We're going to keep any water from getting down in there, but we will eventually like cut a hole into this OSB And then kind of finish that off, probably put in some, what were you talking about? Cob shelving, right?
Cob shelving.
So that'll be something down the road.
And we're actually building a wall around this part.
There'll be a giant Earthbag dome right here. You won't even be able to see us right now.
Yeah. So this is part of our house, and we have more house to come.
We'll be building the next underground portion right here. That's coming up next. And then we'll be building the domes right on top of these portions. Very exciting.
Our future plans include growing a lot of food. I'd like to grow most of our food, and we're gonna have to have a lot of room to store it. So we're actually devoting an entire section of our house just for food storage.
Now, living out here in the desert, we get crazy temperature fluctuations. It's hot during the day, cold at night. The summers can be brutal, and the winters can be freezing. A place to store food underground that's temperature regulated pretty much year round without using any kind of electricity. What an amazing concept. Yeah, I'd say the total cost of the root cellar as of right now is probably right around $500. And most of that comes from just the lumber. So building with earth is fairly nice way to build.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for joining us. What an epic project. Stay tuned because the house build continues. Definitely stick around. Give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss a thing. We'll catch you in the next video.